Okay, or like I said, or you can actually use the Siddur, several Siddurim. Okay, so the question that I thought about when I looked at all these Psalms, I wanted to see if they had something in common. And then I realized that they did. So I wanted to ask the question, how do we express joy? How do people act when they're joyful?
Singing, happiness.
Okay, so how do they express their happiness? How do we express joy? We sing. We do.
Jump up and down.
Dancing, singing. Okay, and when you're happy, you have a good feeling in your heart, right? You feel good. You physically feel good, and the opposite is when, of course, when you're upset and when you're angry, you feel horrible.
Yep.
So you feel good, and if you feel good, what are you likely to say, or feel? When you feel good,
Happiness.
Yes, so you express your happiness, right, with words.
Right. Your face expresses
you feel
it.
Thankful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing that these all have in common, so don't forget, this is like the beginning of Shabbat. It's the beginning of the period of rest.
These are songs of praise.
Reflection. And so Kabbalat Shabbat, it sets the tone, it sets the mood. And the mood is joy, happiness, relaxation, rest, thankfulness, all of that. And so all of these pieces of these Psalms express that. And I will show you that through the words. The first one is L'chuna Ranana. And that, as you can see, is part. It's only part of it. And that's Psalm 95. And it's only the beginning. And you see there's only 4 lines there. So I wanted to just to go over a little bit with the words. I know you don't want translation, but I'm going to point out some things. I once said that the words in the Siddur repeat a lot. The roots repeat. Once you have a basic knowledge of some Hebrew roots, you're going to see these words again and again in different contours. So lechu is come or go. Lechu from lalechet. So lechu is go, and Ranana, it says let's go, and the root is sing. Lechu Ranana ladonai, let's sing to God. So right away we have singing. Naria, and that's an interesting verb. So I looked it up to see what it actually meant. I wasn't that familiar with it, but actually it has to do with, there's 3 sounds on the shofar, and it has to do with the sound truah. And Naria means sounding the shofar with truah. And that again was also a sign of victory for the Israelites, in the desert. So it says, come, let's sing to God. Naria, let's sound the shofar. Litzur yishenu. Why are they sounding the shofar? Sur, Sur Yisroel, Koma Bezrat Yisroel in the Torah service, or Ma o Sur Yeshuate. So Sur, anyone know what Sur means? What's the name of Ma'os Sur in English? Da da dee da 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 da. Rock of ages. Okay. Here are songs, something like that. So Sur is rock. And as I told you many times, there are many different words that refer to God. Sur is one of them. So in Rock of Ages, it's referring to God who protects fortified cities from invaders and is a defender. So it says, come, let us sing to God. Let's sound the shofar in honor of the rock. And here's an interesting word, Yishenu, rock, the rock who's our deliverer. But I remembered something, and I looked it up just to be sure. So Yishenu is our deliverance. Now, Yeshua is Jesus, like the deliverer. That actually is what it comes from. That's the root. Yeshua is Christ. And Yishenu, so there's almost the same root, is our deliverer, our protector, which is pretty interesting. So let's sound the shofar to the rock, Yishenu, our deliverer. Nikadma. Now in, hi Sherry.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. Got caught up with some sisterhood things.
I see you've been a busy girl on that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, what was it? Yeah, so in the Israeli army, hi Helene. Hello there. In the Israeli army, they were noted for the commanders at the front. And the words in the army, when they say forward, blood chicks, let's go forward, it's kadima. Kadima is from Kodem and it means forward. And that's what the Israeli commanders are noted for. Being at the front, not in a little tent or someplace up on a hill on the side, like in the Civil War, you see where the commanders are away from the battle. So and now it says, Nikadma, let's greet, let's face, let us go forward. Nikadma fanav, panim, or in Yiddish punim is face. Let's go forward to the face, his face, b'todah, with thanks. So we're singing to God, we're greeting God, we're going forward in front of God. And how are we greeting God? It says bizmirot. Zmirot are songs, with songs. Narielo, with songs, we will sing to him. We will sound triumphantly the songs. So it's all about being joyful, and it's all about thanking, and it's all about being upfront. It's like very intimate, we don't have somebody in between, like in the Catholic religion, you go to confession, you've got a priest who's the intermediary. We're up front, personal with God. We're there, we're singing. It says, Nikadma, Panav, in front of his face or her face, whatever, but we're right there and we're singing to this being. I find that's a very amazing thing. It's very personal. You're very connected, and everybody personally is connected. So I think that the words are really very beautiful. I was looking up different translations, and when I came to this, here we are in front of the rock, the deliverer, the one who protects us, and we're just, here I am, I'm singing. So it's just it's a pretty amazing, the words. So in my synagogue, it goes like this. Lechu niranina niranina ladonai naria litzor yishenu. It repeats. Lechu niranina ladonai naria litzor yishenu. The second. Nikadma fanav bitoda bizmirot nariyalo bizmirot nariyalo. So it's a nice peppy melody. Dun, 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 dun. So it's a very nice melody. Not sad, it's peppy, it's joyful. Okay, so let's go over the words. But I was, so remember, so that Yeshua or Yeshu, that's Jesus. That's the Hebrew word for Jesus. Oh, one other thing that I found when I was looking up in the Hebrew, a zamir, so zmirot are hymns. A zamir is a nightingale. So the word zmirot, comes from a bird that supposed to sing beautifully. I don't know, anyone ever hear a nightingale sing? So zamir. Now I know there's a famous youth chorale that used to appear at Carnegie Hall, and they were called the Zamir Chorale. The Zamir Chorale. So now I have a more relationship with that word. Okay, so repeat after me. Lechu niranina Ladonai
Ladonai.
Okay.
Naria Litzur Yishenu.
Yeshenu.
Nikadma.
Nikadma.
Panav.
Panav.
So in that word, panav, panim is face, but when you see the yud vav ending, just a reminder that when you see that combination, it's pronounced av. So it's fa nav.
Yeah,
The
fine.
yud vav is
Panav.
av. Panav, bitoda,
Bitoda.
izmirot, naria,
Naria.
lo.
Low.
Okay.
Can
I
I,
want you
can
to
I
look at
just review that word you said was pronounced instead of,
Okay,
Pan-
but there's no dot. So it's fanav, it's a fey, not a pay.
Right, it's fine.
Panav.
Fanav. And I know that because the letter that precedes it is a hey from the kadma. And when you have like a silent letter, it would be a fey. It's not a pay.
Right.
May
So
I
it's
ask
fanav.
what page are you on?
Oh, so are you working from the one I sent? Or
Yeah.
I have two Sidduros here. I have Lev Shalem and Sim Shalom. Who asked the question? Who's
Karen,
Me too.
My Sim Shalom is page 15.
And Lev Shalem,
Okay.
Shalem is 11.
yeah, Lev Shalem. Lev Shalem is page 11 and the old Sim Shalom is page 254. But I also sent it so that you'd have it. This sheet I sent.
I got page 64
Okay, now
yesterday.
from the book, I think I did some cut and paste on this one.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to take pieces of this. Some of it is on page 71 from Shalom Aleichem. But I don't think all of it.
Okay,
All
I
right,
got
so,
71.
okay, I now want to ask you, look at those two lines and tell me if there's any letter that you're having trouble with, any letter that you can't pronounce, so that doesn't look right to you. So you see the word naria on the top line, it's past the middle to the
Yes.
left.
Yes.
So there's an ayin, remember the ayin is silent,
Naria.
naria, I'm only pronouncing the vowel, naria. Okay, what about the tzadi? Is everybody good with the tzadi?
Mhm.
Litzur, the
Litzur.
TS sound, litzur, okay? And you know your difference between your shin and your sin?
Right.
It says
Shin is
yishenu.
right, sin is left.
Right, correct. So this is like, and I said, if you learn the word shalom, learn to recognize shalom, that's your key word for your shin. Okay, so if you have a key word, then you can always remember that. Everybody good with the kuf in the second line, nikad ma, the kuf, the K sound, nikad ma, and then nikad, kad, it's like a K, nikad ma, banav. What does todah mean?
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
face
you.
God with thanks. Todah, like todah rabbah, thanks a lot. Okay, let's thank God with let's face God with thanks. Okay, so, all right, so again, this is all very upbeat. Let's go and sing, let's trumpet out like teruah. We're thanking God for protecting us. We're going forward to face God. There's no fear here of facing the deity. There's no fear. It's of appearing and speaking directly. You're speaking directly, not through any other person, which is, it's kind of an amazing thing. The rabbi doesn't speak for you. The cantor doesn't speak for you. He prays for the congregation and leads, but you speak directly to God. So that's pretty good. All right, who would like to read the first line there? How about Cheryl? Will you read the first line, starting with Lechu?
Yep.
Okay.
Lechu naranana la Adonai. Naria Letzur Yeshenu.
Good. Rhoda, will you do that line? Same line,
Yeah, the same line or the next
same
one?
line,
Okay.
same line.
Lahu, Naranana, La Adonai, Naria, Latsur, Yeshenu.
Good. The other way is you can think of the word shalom, or you can think of the word Shema. And if you know, when you recognize Shema Yisrael, and you know that that's a shin, but the dot is on the right, or shalom, the dot is on the right, it's a shin. Those could be your two keys, so that you'll always know how that's a shin, not a sin. Okay, and if it's not a shin, it must be a sin. Okay, all right, Helene, will you do this second line?
Yeah. Nekadma Panav Bitoda Biz Mirot Naria Lo.
Good. Now, the is a prefix and it means with, and zmirot
With
are songs or hymns. So bizmirot, with songs, naria, let's make noise, let's proclaim to him, let's sing to him. Okay. Does anybody have a different melody than the one I sang for this?
Yeah.
So that's at the
Yeah.
beginning of 95. Cheryl, you do?
Ours is Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, La Adonai, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, Lechuna Ranana, La Adonai, Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu. So, I mean, then it goes back and repeats. They rarely do all
Yes.
of it.
Right. So there's many, the point is there's many melodies, you know, and whatever the cantor prefers, that's what you get. Okay, so now, is there somebody who would like to read the two lines, Beryl, you want to read the two lines starting with Lechuna Ranana?
Okay. Lechuna Ranana Badonoi Nerea Litzur Shenu Nakadma Nor Nav
Banav,
Banav Bit Tada Biz Marhat
Bizmirot,
is near
after the Mehmet Suresh, Bizmirot. Remember Zmirot? That's a Sabbath song, Zmirot, Bizmirot.
Nara
Take it syllable at a time.
Nare
Nari, Naria. Lo. Okay, so when you have a dot under a letter followed by a yud, it's E sound. Naria.
Yeah.
If it's just a dot, it's the same thing. So the dot with the yud or just the dot is E sound. So it's Naria. There's three syllables there. Bizmira, Naria, Lo. Okay. All right. So that was a joyful one. That's a happy one. And both melodies are really da 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 da, or the other one. Da 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 da. It sounds like a Broadway tune. Da 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 da. Hey, hey, I feel like you want to dance. You want to get up and dance around in the aisles.
Indeed.
So it's like sounds like a little Broadway tune going on there. Okay, the next one is Psalm 96. So in Psalm 95, that's the only part that in my synagogue that we sing. It's just the beginning of it. Then we go on to Psalm 96. Shiru Ladonai. Does anyone know what Shiru means? Or a shir or la shir or anything to do with that?
Sing.
Good song.
Yeah, a shir is a song, shirim are songs, and lashir is to sing. So again, we're continuing this joyful mood, we're still singing. Shiru is a command, it says sing to God. Now, it doesn't matter, so I want to show you something. The very first line, Lin Lechu Naranana Ladonai, and we really wouldn't go La Adonai, we would put it together, Ladonai. Lechu Naranana Naranana Ladonai. Okay, we wouldn't say La Adonai, Ladonai. So you have the two yuds there, the lamed with the two yuds, that means God. But in the prayer book that I got it from, Shiru Ladonai, it has a hey with a slash. It's still the same exact pronunciation. So the name of this one is Shiru Ladonai and Lechu Naranana Ladonai. So it doesn't matter if it's got the hey with the slash mark, which stands for Hashem, or the two dots, okay, which is a name we're not supposed to pronounce because we don't know how to say it. That's what the thinking is. We really don't know. We weren't there. We don't know how to say it correctly. So rather than corrupt it and say it incorrectly or disrespectfully, we just say Ladonai.
So I have a
We don't say
question.
Yahweh or Yahweh, and we don't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a
Go
question.
ahead.
So I hear
Hmm.
everybody says Adonai a little bit differently. I think of it as Adonai, and of course you haven't got vowels to guide you, but I hear a lot of people say Adonai. And so I wondered where the difference or how that happens, that it's
They're from
different.
Brooklyn.
Right now it's you.
In Minnesota?
Isn't that the
answer.
Ashkenazi way of pronouncing it rather than
Both
the
Ashkenaz.
Sephardic
Then
way?
Sephardic maybe?
Adonai.
Okay, that could be.
Depends on what you heard when you were a kid. If you heard your grandfather say Adonai, that's, if you
I
were raised
noticed
in the
that
Bronx or
all the
Brooklyn.
Chabad rabbis say Adonai. They don't say Adonai.
Mm.
I wonder if anybody's noticed that.
Yeah, because it's more, that's more Ashkenaz. You know, don't forget they speak Yiddish to each other. Adonai.
Oi.
And every
Oi.
other, and every other
Oi.
word is Baruch. If you ever had, if you ever had the experience to ask a chassid how they feel, you will never get the answer. Because the answer will always be Baruch Hashem. Praise be to
Oh,
God. You
yeah.
will never know if they have COVID, if they have whatever. It's always Baruch Hashem. I'm still alive, thank God. That's it, the end of the story. Don't have the sniffles, none of that stuff. If I ask my son-in-law, how are you? I've never yet found out. If I say, hi, Mindy, how are you? Baruch Hashem. And that's the end of it. And I can't go any further. That's the end of the
I
story.
hope he tells your daughter how he really feels so she knows.
I hope so. I'm not privy to that. All right, so this is Shiru, sing to God. Shir, a song. Chadash, anybody know what Chadash is? Chadash means new. Sing to God a new song. Shiru, Shiru is a command to everybody. Everybody sing now. Okay, Shiru, Ladonai, Shir, Chadash. Everybody sing to God a new song. So maybe it means an invigorating song, an energizing song, okay, but they use the word chadash, a new song. Okay, so it is a lot of repetition here. This is not a hard thing to read. It's Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, sing to God a new song. And then it says again, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, sing to God, the whole earth. Everybody, the trees, the grass, the bumblebees, everybody's in there, all, the whole earth. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo. Anyone know what Shemo means? In a prayer when we say Baruch, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo.
Name?
Yes, blessed is his name. Baruch
I have a
Hu Shemo,
question.
bless his name. Mhm.
I never understood why when we're having the services, sometimes we say that, at the end.
It's just
At the
it's
end
just
of a
out
phrase.
of respect.
How do you
It's
know
just out of
where to
respect.
say it? It's just whatever the congregation does.
When it says like Baruch Adonai, Baruch Shemo, or Baruch Hu.
Shemo, when they say Shemo, they'll just add
Shemo
Shemo.
means his name. So if you mention God, if you end with, Baruch Adonai, and then we say Baruch Shemo or Baruch Hu, blessed is his name. Shem is name. Baruch,
Okay.
blessed is the name. So when you hear Adonai, Baruch Shemo, that's why we respond with that. So Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, bless his name. And Basru Miyom Liyom. Does anyone know what Yom means? Yom, day. Mi is a prefix from day, le to day, from day to day. That means every day, right? Basru means announce. Basru, every day. Miyom liyom, Yeshuato, his deliverance. Now, my son's name is Yehoshua, and that's from the same root, which means deliverer. And we have the name Joshua, Yehoshua, right? Joshua in the Torah, it's Yehoshua. So it's the saver, the deliverer, the rescuer. So I decided I like the hero Joshua in the Torah. So I named my son Joshua. So we did name him after his paternal grandmother. His name is Yehoshua Gideon, because I like Gideon and the Brave 300, another Bible hero of mine. So I had Joshua and Gideon in there. I wanted him to have good forebears. And then he has a third name, and I asked him, well, can I give him 3 names? He said, yeah, sure. Okay. So it's Yehoshua Gideon. Tzvi is named for his grandmother, Charlotte. So that's Tzvi was her name. Her name is Charlotte. So actually it was in Yiddish Zlata. It's a Polish name. Zlata, Russian, Polish. And so we spell it Z-V-I. Yehoshua Gideon Zvi. And that's for Zlata. There's a book, Zlata the Goat, but we don't bring that up. Okay, so the melody that I know is something like this. Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom L'Yom Yeshuato. And then there's another one. Shirul Adonai, no. Shirul Adonai, and now I was singing it before to myself.
Shirul Hadash, da 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 da. Is that it? Da da. Shirul Adonai, Shirul Hadash. Am I getting the right prayer with the right melody?
Yeah, but it repeats like 3 times. Shirul Adonai, Shir Chad. No, that's a different melody. So there's so many melodies. Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai,
I remembered one. Shirul Adonai.
Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Yom Yeshuato, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. So there's so many melodies, Our cantor.
I don't know if that's. I'm sorry. Maybe another prayer. Maybe I have another prayer with that.
Sherry Lynn, do you have a melody for Shirul Adonai?
I know.
I think I may be getting it mixed up with Zen.
What's the melody? No? Shirul Adonai, Shirul. Yeah, it's a lot of repetition because look, it goes Shirul Adonai, and then it goes back to the first word, Shiru, Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, and they kind of rhyme Haaretz and Hadash. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Our cantor on it was New Year's Day. I was in services for Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and he did Adon Olam to Old Ang Syne.
Our cantor did the same thing.
It was pretty funny. That was funny. All right, so Shira, so I want someone to read the whole thing. Paula, you want to read all the words?
Am I unmuted?
You're good.
No, I hear, it sounds like someone's being electrocuted.
Or running water.
Okay. There it is.
Shiru,
Okay.
Ladonai, Shiru,
No.
Hadosh,
Kadash.
Hadash, Shiru, Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru, Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru, Miyom. I can't sort of smear. Is there an A under?
That's correct. Miyom.
Miyom.
Yes.
Mayum. Mayum.
Layom Yashuato.
Very good. Okay, so we have singing there, sing to God a new song, Shiru Adonai, the whole earth, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, bless. So you know Baruch, you should recognize different forms of Baruch. Baruch Hu is blessed, like Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamborach. I mean, you heard that a million times during the Torah service. And then Basru means announce. Every day, mi yom, from day, li yom, to yom, Yeshua ato, his deliverance. Okay, so again, we're singing to God, we're praising his name, and we're announcing that he is our helper and protector. And again, we got a direct pipeline. It's as if we had that hot telephone right there, and we're saying directly. So we have this direct contact. Okay, so that's the second one.
Just before you go on, can I just ask you a question, please? I'm not exactly sure. What is the difference between Mayom and Layom?
Okay, me is a prefix, it means from.
From, okay.
And it's attached to the word. Prefixes and suffixes are attached to words in Hebrew.
Okay, so from every day.
Le is to day.
Oh,
Literally it means
every
from day to day.
Gotcha.
Or every day, right? That's the way it would be translated. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
So now, yeah, sure. Now the third one is Yismechu Hashemayim. And again, we're going back to the theme of joy and happiness. So there's Yismechu, when you look at the root, sin, mem, chet, samach. Does that ring any bells of any meaning? What if I say to you, Chag Sameach? What does that mean?
Be happy holiday.
Right, Chag is a holiday.
Mhm.
Sameach.
Happy.
Okay, so Yismechu, it's not an adjective here, it's a verb. Will rejoice. What's Hashemayim? Who will rejoice?
The heavens.
God.
The heavens will rejoice. Now, this is pretty grandiose here. This is like in 2001, da, 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 da. You know, this is a big thing. The heavens will rejoice. Yismechu Hashemayim. The other one before said the earth. This one says the heavens will rejoice. We got everybody. We got people, the earth, the heavens. Everybody's happy here. Yismechu Hashemayim, v'tagel haaretz, and the earth will be joyful. Okay, the heavens will rejoice, and the earth will be happy. Now, my daughter's name is Eliza, which means joy. But we're not finished. We have Tagel. In Hebrew, Gila means joy. So we have two Hebrew names derived from this. Tagel, you have Gila, and you have Eliza. Eliza means joyful. That's what I named her. That's my daughter. So Yismechu Hashemayim b'tagel haaretz. The heavens will rejoice, and the earth will be happy. Yiram Hayam. Now we're getting the ocean into this. Did anyone ever pick up a big seashell? What do you hear? You have a big
Sea.
seashell, what do you hear?
The waves.
The waves.
Like the waves. Okay, if you go down to the beach and it's a very windy day and you see the breakers, you see those waves breaking, right? And it's so this means Yiram will roar. The sea is even making noise here. People are singing, the sea, the heavens, the earth, everybody's singing here. We got everyone in the air. Yiram Hayam, the sea will roar like the waves. Umalo, and all of its complements. So I guess ponds and rivulets and streams and all bodies of water, right? And its all the hosts of the seas, the rivers, the seas, the oceans, all are together roaring. Yiram Hayam Umalo, Ya Alos, and here's the Aliza, Alos, will be joyful. Sadeh, the fields will be joyful. V'chol asher bo, and everything in the fields, the plants, the fields. We have like all of nature is singing, not just the people, the heavens, the waters, the Mayum, the Shemayim, Haaretz, the earth. Everything is happy here. One big happy world. Ya'alos Sadai, the fields, V'chol asher bo, and everything in the fields. Sadeh is a field. As Yerananu, so they will be happy, even will be happy. Kol Atzei Ya'ar. You know what an eights means? Tu B'Shvat is coming soon. Eights, what's an eights? You buy one in Israel from J&F?
A tree.
Tree.
A tree, okay. So as even Yerananu, as you will be singing, all the trees in the forest. Ya'ar is a forest. The trees in the forest are singing. Did we get everybody in there? We've got the heaven, the earth, we got the water, we have the people. So this continues this whole theme in Kabbalat Shabbat of joy and happiness, right? The very strong theme here. So repeat after me. Yismechu
Yismahu.
Hashamayim
Hashemayim.
Vitagel
Vitagel.
Haaretz
Haaretz.
Yiram
Yiram.
Hayam
Hayam.
Umlo.
Umlo.
Line 4. Ya'alos
Ya'alos.
Sadai
Sadai.
V'chol
V'chol.
Asher
Asher. Bo.
That's this week's Torah portion. Bo. Okay, and line 5. Az Yerananu
Yirananu.
Kol Atzei
Atzei.
Ya'ar.
Ya'ar.
Okay, so okay, line 1. Let's see, Sherry Lynn. Will you
Yismechu,
read line 1, Sherry? Mhm.
Yismechu, Hashemayim,
Very good. Line 2, Rhoda.
Vatagel haaretz.
Okay, line 3, Cheryl.
Yaron,
Yiram
Yiram, Hayam, Umlo.
Good. The dot in the middle is U, just like you did it. Dot on the top of the vav is O. Lo O. Very good. Line 4. Okay, Linda.
Ya'alos. Shada.
Sa, it's a sin. Sadai.
Sadai, Bakal, Asher, Bo.
Okay, is everybody good with the Zion? See that crooked thing is Zion? Okay, so it's Ya'alos, that's a Zion. Sadai, that under the Dalet and the Yud is I combination. Sadai, Vichol, Asher, Bo. Okay, line 5, Beryl.
As Uraninu,
Yerananu.
Uraninu, Kol, as stay, Atsay,
Atsay.
Yeir,
Yeah.
Yar,
Take it syllable. Ya,
Yar,
Ya'ar. As Yerananu, call Atsay, Ya'ar. No, Tu B'Shvat is coming, and we'll talk about Atsay, Zaytim, Omdim, Atsay, Zaytim, Omdim, Atsay, Zaytim. The olive trees are standing. Atsay, Zaytim, Omdim, la la, la la. It's a song about the olive trees in Israel, because Tu B'Shvat, you're supposed to eat olives.
I have a
That's
question.
Zion. Yes.
Well, I heard several people say Rananu, but isn't it just Ranu? There's only 2 N's, not 3.
It depends grammatically how it is. And so it's where are we with
On the last line, line 5, the second word, isn't that Yaran?
Ya'az,
No.
Ra, Ne, Nu. There's 2 nuns.
But you said,
Yerananu means they will sing.
but
There's
is
2
it
nuns.
Ron? Is it Yaran Nu?
Ra, Ne, Nu. You have to take it a consonant and a vowel. Break it down into syllables. Ra, Ne, Nu.
Okay.
Yeraninu.
I
There's 2
guess I
nuns.
hear Ron.
And
I guess I hear Ron Nu and not Ra.
Ra,
Ra. Okay, that's because of the shva. Ra, Ne, because it's an open beginning of a syllable. Ra, Ne, Nu. The
Where's the
Ne
Ne?
is because it's got the shva under it. Ra, Ne, Nu. Still 2 nuns.
Okay.
I have a
Call
question.
Atsay.
I have
Yes, Linda.
In the paper you sent us, you wrote in Oz, to line 5.
Yeah, because it didn't come out right. I wrote it in, I tried to write it in print,
Because it isn't
but
in the,
it's
it
hard,
isn't
it's
in
hard
the book.
to make it look like the printed Zion. That's Zion, Az.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
when you're
not in the
printing it.
book. Why did you feel it was necessary to have?
Something happened. I don't know. I made a boo-boo or something like that. I must have spilled something on it or whatever.
Oh.
So I had to put some white out, but that's Az.
Okay,
Az means so or then or thus. So we'll sing all the trees of the forest.
okay.
Can you imagine in your head dancing trees and waters are doing their little wavy thing? We make a good Disney animation here for this. All right, so there we have the whole thing. Then we get to the bottom one. Oh, good. Or Zarua. So this is the melody. Let's all try this with, does everyone know that melody? Dee, 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 dee. And then people go Hashamayim. We go Yismichu Hashamayim, and everyone says Hashamayim. Yismichu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, 3 times. Yismichu Hashamayim, V'tagel Haaretz. Then it goes Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Umelo, oh, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Umelo, oh, and then the melody changes. And it goes, Ya Alo Sadai, and repeats, Ya Alo Sadai, and again, Ya Alo Sadai, V'cho Asher Bo, as you're running new, as you're running new, as you're running new, call out, say Ya R, and it repeats, as you're running new, as you're running new, as you're running new, call out, say Ya R. So there's a lot of 3 repeats there of the lines or parts of the lines 3 times. Okay.
Where are you?
I would like somebody to read lines 1 through 5. Is there a brave soul out there?
Where are you?
Who is
We know
brave?
where you are.
Braves. Yismichu Hashemayim, lines 1 to 5. Is there a brave person who can do that?
Wait. Where are you?
Line 1 through 5, right here on the left-hand side of the page.
Yeah, Yismichu Hashemayim. It's the 3rd one we did today. Do you have the page that I sent?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's the
that's the one.
3rd group down. 3rd group
Yes.
down. Where it starts with the word Yismichu. Okay. All right, who's that brave soul? It's like my class the other day, we were going over irregular past tense verbs, and I said, step right up and win a prize. I said I should be a carnival barker, and I had candy canes in my bag. Step right up and I'll give you the verb and you give me the past tense. 5 wins it. I was like, what am I saying? It's like 2 balls to win a Cupid doll. Okay, Helene.
Try it. Yismechu Hashemayim V'Tagel, trying to see, Haaretz, Yeram Hayam Umelo, oh, Ya'alos Sadai V'chol Asher Bo, Az Yaranenu Kol Say Ya'ar. You know, I can sing it when I can read it better when they're singing it, but I guess.
That's what I said at the beginning of this class. That's why I said when you learn the words, it's kind of dry. When you are actually in services, they don't just read them, they sing them. So if you really want to learn to follow a service, you need to learn to sing it, because you need the versification, you need how the words flow. All right. Now, the last one I wanted to do, and I think I did a cut and paste here. This is like a murderer, you know, like cut and paste from the newspaper, but I did it. Or Zarua. What is or? Something that was created in the beginning.
Light.
Yeah, the first words, does anyone know the first words of the Torah?
Bereshit.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. And do we have Vayehi or, and there was light, and then there was light. Vayehi or. Okay, so there was light. So or is light. Zarua. Now this is kind of strange because that's the word that's used in farming. Zarua means planted or sown, S-O-W-N, like seeds are sown, okay, in the spring when you turn over your garden and you put the fertilizer and everything in, and then you put the seeds in, like bean seeds or whatever, you make a little furrow, a little row, you put the seeds in. That's sowing seeds. You're planting seeds, and it's a special word for seeds. Lazroa. Light is sown or light is planted. Well, when you read the part of this psalm, you understand a little more about it. So Or Zarua, it means light is sown. That's what we're going to sing here. And we'll see that the light is for whom? Who do you think gets the light? Who does God give light to?
Righteous.
How do you earn light? The righteous, people who are good, tzaddikim, people who are nice to other people. They get light. And I read a commentary someplace. It says that on earth, the light is sown in people. They're given light. And in heaven, you'll see the fruition of the light. You know, like the seeds are planted, and then in heaven, it's supposed to be, it comes to fruition. So it's got this fertile thing, and you earn it, and you get this special heavenly light. It's a very nice thought. Or Zarua la tzaddik. Light is planted for the tzaddik, for the righteous person. U yishrei lev simcha. Okay. U and le to yishrei, and to the one who's right or righteous. Okay, the upright. U yishrei lev, and the one who is righteous of heart. Simcha. So he gets light and happiness. Simcha. And the one who is right of heart, righteous of heart, the good person, the kind person, gets joy. Well, you know, when you do a good deed and when you're nice, you feel good. So that makes sense. Or Zarua, la tzaddik, God plants light for the righteous and for the upright, for the honest. Yashar really means honest. And for those people who are honest, Yishrei Lev, honest in their heart, they get simcha, they get happiness. Okay, all of these psalms are very upbeat, and it's the beginning of Shabbat. It sets the stage for Shabbat of rejoicing. There's 7 days, so this is the beginning of the 7th day. Shabbat's beginning Friday night. Okay, the days begin at night, so it's setting the stage for happiness and for singing and joyfulness. All of these are very upbeat. The nature, the trees are dancing, and the waves are bouncing, and everybody's having a good time. Or Zarua la tzaddik, ula yishrei lev, lev is hard, simcha, happiness, joy. Then the next line says, simchu, tzaddikim, will rejoice, the righteous, through God. V'hodu, and they will thank, lezecher, Kodsho, and they will give thanks to the memory or to the mention of his holy name.
I think I heard, I was going to say, I heard somebody ask what page we're on, and if they're in Lev Shalem, it's on page 16.
Thank you.
Lev Shalem, yeah, page 16, and in Sim Shalom, it's 256. Okay,
Or
so this is about
17. This one is 17.
Oh, Lev Shalem, I found it on 16. So this is about light and about planting. So it has to do with fertility. It has to do with honest people, righteous people, giving thanks to God. Now, you know, have you ever heard the prayer Modeh Ani?
Yes.
Modeh Ani. Okay, when you come
Is that
into
the one they
synagogue,
say
the first
early in the
thing-
morning?
The first thing you say, yeah, and when you go
Wake
to
up.
you go to synagogue, like on Saturday, the first thing they do is Modeh Ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam. I give thanks, Modeh. And then Todah means thanks, so all from the same root. Okay, Modeh, Todah, it's from Litodot. And so we had Todah before, and Hodot means to give thanks. Hodu, and they will give thanks. Zecher, you know, is in the memory of, could show his holy name. Zecher, in the memory of. So, okay, let's say the words. Or Zarua,
Zarua.
La Tzaddik. So now we have two prefixes, and two. Ul Yishrei,
Yishrei.
Lev,
Lev,
Simcha.
Simcha,
Okay, and the second line is Simchu.
Simho,
Simchu,
Simchu Tzadikim
Zadikim,
Badonai
Adonai,
Adonai,
V'hodu
Yehudu,
L'zecher
Zeker,
Kodsho.
Show.
Now you see that under the kuf, it will show up like a little bit darker in the Siddur, in the prayer book. And that means you have to say that one as or, Kodsho. V'hodu L'zecher Kodsho. Okay, because a lot of variations on the word Kodesh have that or sound, Kodsho. All right, or Zarua La Tzadik Ula Yishrei Lev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Badonai V'hodu L'zecher Kodsho. So this last one says we have to give thanks for God's give thanks to God's holy name. But anything to do with Kodesh is to do with holy, sanctified, and give thanks to God's holy name, to the memory of it, Zecher. Okay, someone gonna read those two lines. Somebody gonna read. Karen, do you wanna try? Would you like to try? No?
I don't think so. I'm coughing.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sherry Lynn, how about you?
Word Sarua La Tzadik Ulish Ray Lev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Adonai. Yeah. Yehodu Zecher Kodsho.
Kodsho. Okay, you can't see it here, but in the prayer book, it would be darker. If it's darker or bigger, the kamatz, the one that's a T, then you have to say ah sound instead of ah. So it's L'zecher Kodsho. Okay, somebody else do that one? Linda, you want to do it?
Okay.
Good
Or-
girl.
Or Zarua La Tzadik Ul Yishrei Lav
Lev.
Simcha
Mhm.
Simhu Tzadikim Badonai V'hodu L'zecher
Zecher. Kodsho. Okay, very good. One more person. I think I have one more candy cane left. That was so funny. As soon as I said I had candy canes, these women whipped into shape. It was very funny. I teach adult ESL. So I use stickers and erasers and I give out folders and little chocolate bars, whatever I could think of. This time I had candy canes. And that motivates them. Let me tell you, that works. All right, especially the stickers. Okay. One more person. Who's going to be that last person? Let's see. Where is Rhoda?
I knew it.
Okay, Rhoda, you're it.
Or,
Come on, you're it.
or Sarua la ad la tzadik ul yishrei. Wait a second, I'm just trying too fast. Ul yishrei lev simcha. It's hard to read. Simcha.
Mhm.
Simchu tzadikim ba Adonai vahodu let's say her. Now this one I'm going to say incorrectly. It's not kadshu. How do you want me to say it?
Code show.
Code show. Okay, code show.
Okay, because that word, like the word call, it's one of those irregulars that when you see that that little T under the letter, it's pronounced or, like the Sephardic pronunciation, like the Ashkenaz rather than Sephardic. It's just it's an exception to the rules. So hall and call.
Okay, so it's code show.
So it's the hodu lezecher, and when you do the Zion, the letter is called Zion, and it's called Zion because we have a real Z sound. Okay, so the hodu lezecher code show. Very good. So these are all happy and upbeat and really nice, and most of the prayers on Shabbat are even the Kaddish. There's not a word of death, dying, anything like that in the Kaddish. It just praises God. Yit Gadal v'Yit Kadash. He is magnified and sanctified. God's name we just praising God.
Yeah.
So maybe we're thankful for the gift of life in the first place.
Yeah.
But there's not a word about death, dying. There's nothing like that. It's not said. It's all about giving thanks, to remember what we have and give thanks. So, but I like the fact that I have a direct pipeline. I've got that red telephone and I can dial whenever I want. But it's true. I feel a connection. I feel a kesher. For the last month, my one of my two dogs had to be put down. She was very sick. And I asked the rabbi if I could say Kaddish for her. And he said, well, if you're asking me and you loved her and she was part of the family, I would say it's okay. He said, but if you ask a rabbi in Israel, I said, I'm not asking a rabbi in Israel. I'm asking you. I have faith in you. So I sit there. I don't stand, but I say Kaddish for my little doggie every Shabbat when I go to services. And it's just about a month. We had to put her down right before Thanksgiving. So it's about a month. And I've been saying Kaddish for her because she was part of my family.
Of course.
She was like a little girl. I have a little brown girl with a curly tail. And I have another dog. And I think he's depressed. I think he's a little depressed, So I have to give him extra love. And I promised him a little playmate in the spring.